Right then, Dippy. Got to be quite quick about this because I'm opening a new heron food in Hartlepool at 2. So just to say, during this video, don't look at my face and only speak when spoken to. Understood?
Yeah.
Great, let's do it. Big smiles, all right?
Hi everyone, it's me, your Cultaholic WWE Predictions Champion, and it's great to be here predicting the Money in the Bank 2024 pay-per-view card from top to bottom. Speaking of which, I'm joined by Andrew Hodkinson. Hey, here he is. He's a great friend and a great guy. Now, I've tried to keep a lot of this under wraps, but since becoming Cultaholic WWE Predictions Champion, you will have seen the press coverage, you will have heard the radio interviews, all that kind of stuff. One thing that I don't like to talk about, but I will bring up, is the fact that I have now granted 200 Make-A-Wish wishes for just some of the most amazing people that I've ever met, and I just want to give a big shout out to all of those people. I can't remember the names or anything, but good on you. I'm actually going to make it 201 Make-A-Wishes as I do this video with Andrew Hodkinson. So, without any further ado, let's predict the matches. We're kicking off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Io Sky versus Chelsea Green versus Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Zoey Stark. Who have you got and why?
Chelsea Green! I'm going to go for Chelsea Green in this one. I think there's too much of a good opportunity to have her as a really very whiny heel with that briefcase, just being the best. She's so good on TV at the moment, and I think her with the briefcase, trying to cash in, getting scuppered in those attempts, then going after management, being like, you've got to punish all these people who keep scuppering my opportunities, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, whoever I decide to cash in on whichever brand. And then also, I think there's a lot of fun to be had, and I think maybe other people would agree as well. There's a lot of fun to be had with Chelsea Green holding that briefcase, maybe not being able to cash it in on either Raw or SmackDown, maybe even NXT. And perhaps with this little teamwork we've got going together with the TNA and WWE, perhaps she goes over to TNA and tries to cash in on the Knockouts Women's Champion as well. I don't know. She said she wants another shot at that belt, and I could see her doing something fun like that. Obviously, it can further develop stuff between her and Piper Niven too, if she's sending out Piper Niven to do a dirty work and stuff as well. And therefore, yes, I think Chelsea Green would just be phenomenal. Like, really, really good to watch on TV. Who are you going to go for?
I totally agree. You mentioned really good to watch on TV. Whoever wins the briefcase, I see holding that briefcase for some amount of time. It might be a month, it might be almost 12 months, but I think they're going to hold it for a while, unlike potentially the men's briefcase, which we'll get to in a little bit. So, who's the best value with that briefcase on TV? It's Chelsea Green. It absolutely is Chelsea Green. She's been amazing. For me, this is between Tiffany Stratton or Chelsea Green. Tiffany Stratton is a future women's world champion. No doubt about it. She's so good. But she can get that gold without winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is her year. I'm going for Chelsea Green, and I agree. I think this playing out on TV, she is the perfect character for that prop. She's going to be absolutely detestable in the best possible way. Yeah. You talk about wrestlers like maximizing their minutes, and I can't think of a single better example than Chelsea Green.
Agreed.
Everything she does, and like considering she wins what 10% of her matches.
Yep.
If we maybe that's too hard. She loses a lot of matches.
She does.
But she's always so consistently entertaining. I love seeing her on our screens. And you're right, the fans agree. That pop when she qualified for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was absolutely massive. She's somebody that you just love to hate, but I think slowly I'm loving to love her.
I agree.
Yeah. Good pals.
Next up for the Intercontinental Championship, we have the champion Sami Zayn defending against one Bronathan Breakker. Who are you going to go for, Adam, and why?
Absolutely going with Bronathan Breakker here. I think we're seeing a title change. A lot of people were sort of doubtful before WrestleMania about Sami being the one to dethrone
Gunther. He held it for the longest time, and Sami was a former Intercontinental Champion, and they could have really made a guy. I think Sami, just the match itself at WrestleMania was fantastic, totally got me behind him, and I've actually really enjoyed the title reign since. I think he's doing great work with it, but now is the time to make a new guy, and these two are going to have a tremendous match together. In recent weeks and months, Bron Breakker has been causing havoc, destroying everything and everyone in his path, and I don't expect this to be a squash match, mostly, but I hope it's not, because I really want to see these two wrestle. But I think Bron is going to have a big dominant win to start a new reign of terror with the IC title. I think it's going to be a lengthy reign. I don't know how you get that belt off Bron, but we said that about Gunther as well.
We did. That's very true. I am also going to go for Bronathan Breakker. I think the whole build here has been phenomenal. Now, I guess maybe some people might be thinking, well, you know, they've built mid-carders before and they haven't pulled the trigger on them, aka LA Knight, for the longest time. However, we are finally getting there. However, I feel like just things are a little bit different with Bron Breakker at the moment. Just the way that he is being booked, the way he is being incredibly dominant, just tearing through everything. Even like management are being like, you can't have this match and this, that, and the other, like taking things away from him. I think he gets that belt and then he just goes on a massive tirade. And Sami Zayn, I feel like, is the perfect person to put someone like Bron Breakker over too. Like, he is absolutely going to sell everything that Bron throws at him. Yes, he'll keep kicking out and coming back, but in the end, it's gonna be Bron holding that title way above his head, and Sami just on the floor going, "Ooh, me ribs!" Oh,
you're totally right, and I think there's so many Bron matches that I want to see. There are more Bron matches that I want to see than Sami matches. Like Bron, you got Ilya, you got Sheamus. There's heaps and heaps of people that I want to see Bron wrestle, and I think I'm really buzzing about this match. It could be match of the night.
Yes,
it could be.
Next up, the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line in a last chance match between Damian Priest, the champion, and Seth Freakin Rollins. So, the rules here are, if Priest wins, then Seth can never challenge for that title while Damian is the title holder. However, if Rollins wins, if Rollins wins, then unfortunately, Damian Priest will have to leave Judgment Day. Who have you got on mine?
Rollins wins is nice on the ears. I don't know why, it just feels good on the ears. However, Rollins won't wins. I think Damian Priest will wins this one. I think it's almost too obvious with everything that's going on with the Judgment Day right now. It very much seems like Finn Balor is going to turn on Damian Priest. Obviously, you've got the whole Liv Morgan stuff in there as well. But I can't, do you know what? Maybe it's because I'm thinking with my head more than my heart, or whichever way round it goes. But I think there's something to be had, and maybe the Judgment Day do try and cost Priest, but then it inadvertently turns against them, and he ends up retaining the championship anyway. So therefore, he is then still in Judgment Day. But then you've got the little bits and pieces here where Damian's like, wait a second, you tried to cost me, but I'm still within the Judgment Day. This is weird, what's going on?
Surely he just walk out, he just go,
well, you would think so, but the stipulation says he has to stay in Judgment Day, regardless.
I think, I'm going with you, by the way, I think Damian Priest is going to win this one. However, I think after he beats Rollins, he leaves Judgment Day anyway. He's like, I'm bigger than you at this point. Screw you. I don't need you. I'm buzzing about this match as well. I think Seth is such a great opponent. A man with a very, very lengthy World Heavyweight title reign behind him. A man who will carry, I don't want to say carry, that's unfair, who will bring out the best in Damian Priest. He's Seth Rollins. He's one of the best in the ring of the modern era, certainly. And I think the match is going to be fantastic. But I think, Damian is going to beat him.
He needs the win.
He needs the win.
He had a tremendous match with Drew McIntyre, right? But what more could solidify Damian Priest as a world champion than beating Seth Rollins?
People are getting behind him, aren't they?
Yeah,
people are, and I think at the beginning people were like, oh man, and myself included, you know, Damian Priest as world champion, not quite buying it.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I think he carries himself a little bit better. I think he's having better and better matches each time, and I expect this one to be the best match he's had as champion. If not ever.
Ooh-wee! Next up, we have six-man tag team action. Cody Rhodes, Randall, Keith Orton, and Kevin Owens go up against that new dastardly Bloodline 2.0. Adam, who are you going to go for and why?
this has to be the Bloodlines match.
Ooh, yes.
100%. I think down the line, we are building to Roman and Pals, a kind of OG Bloodline-ish, taking on Bloodline 2.0, so they need to look like the dominant faction we know they can be, and they need to beat the baby faces here. Kevin Owens, sorry, but you are taking the pin on this one. I think it would be absolutely daft if we're building to something like that to have this new faction lose.
Yeah.
At this event. It would be daft, wouldn't it? Who you got?
I completely agree. I think the Bloodline 2.0 are going to win. We've had conflicting things about who's actually going to be in the match. Like the mix-up of it. Will Jacob Fatu be in there? Will Tangaloa be in there instead? Or Tamatonga? This, that, and the other. We don't really know. I would like to see Jacob Fatu in there because I think he's brilliant and I want to see him do more crazy mental stuff. Bold claim. Bold prediction right here, dear boy. I don't think it's Kevin Owens that gets pinned at all. I think it's Solo Sikoa pinning Cody Rhodes to really solidify them as a dominant faction. And then that can be, because we've heard reports hither and thither, that SummerSlam could see Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And I think him getting the win here can then roll out over to the Summery Slammeries. And that just makes him feel like more of a proper dominant faction too, doesn't it? They pin Cody Rhodes.
I was taking it as like pinning Kevin Owens because I think we're going to get Randy because he was eyeing up the belt,
He's eyeing up the belt as well.
So Kevin eats the pin, and so Randy's like, "Oh, you're useless. I don't need you anymore." Turns heel, and then we get heel Orton versus Cody. But maybe that's a bit further away than I'm thinking.
Could be.
Either way, we're both going Bloodline.
I think so. Yes.
And finally, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Jey Uso versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade versus Chad Gable versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
Versus Drew McIntyre. Who have you got and why?
Oh,
Please say something that isn't my pick, please.
Been going back and forth on this one multiple times, Adam, because there's a lot of factors in this match that could end in shenanigans for many a person, actually over half of the people in this match. So what I mean by that is you've got Drew McIntyre in this match, who could be cost that briefcase by one C. Montgomery Punk. You've got Chad Gable in there, who could get cost by the Wyatt Six. Jey Uso in there, who maybe could get cost by the Bloodline. And you've also got LA Knight in there, who could get cost by Logan Paul. And then we've got Melo and Andrade.
Andrade could get cost by Ricochet, who wants his speed title back.
Oh my god, wait, no, he's gone. He's got to see you.
He got worked.
So yeah, I don't see either of those two, unfortunately, picking it up. So I'm going to go for, and I feel silly in doing this, right? Because he's on the poster.
Yes! That's good. You've gone for the one that I haven't.
I'm going for main event Jey Uso.
Great.
I've been and ahhing, and it's been really difficult for me to figure out who I see going forward with it. Jey Uso is called main event Jey Uso, and yet at the moment he's not doing much main eventing, and it feels a little bit weird, and he's been losing some big matches too, and I feel like it would be nice to finally give him something else instead. I think he'd be really fun with that, much like Chelsea Green, but less in terms of like annoying heel, annoying baby instead, yeah, with a briefcase. We've got Yeet in the Bank and everything already. I feel like there's a a marketing thing there for them to do if they want to sell shed loads of Yeet in the Bank briefcases, which I feel like maybe they would. They like it, don't they, when they've got something they can market and just sell to people. But then part of me thinks, if we're heading into like an OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline stuff, does it need the briefcase? No. But I would also kind of like to see if Roman Reigns comes back and they align with the Usos, Roman sort of, acknowledging Jey and being like, you can go and do this thing.
He's proud of him.
I'm proud of you. You go and be a tribal chief, but like one that, we can be proud of within this family kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think that would be interesting to see. It might not work out for me. Who are you going to go for, young man?
I'm going for Drew.
Oh,
I think this match happens earlier in the night. Drew has said that he's going to cash in the same night.
Yep.
So CM Punk costing Drew this match would be a really good moment. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Like Drew, he's facing hard cam and everything.
Yes.
Slowly climbs to the top, and then CM Punk comes in, clobbers him off the ladder. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what's cooler? Drew trying to cash in on Damian Priest, the man he lost that belt to, and CM Punk costing him then.
ruining. And part of me's like, oh man, that's a waste of a briefcase win. You don't even get 24 hours with it. You get like 2.5 hours with it or something. But what an excellent moment that would be.
It actually would.
Like, if Drew holds the briefcase, no matter when he cashes in, CM Punk should cost him that. But the fact that he said, I'm doing it on the night, to me indicates that Drew is quite a strong possibility for the win. I get what you're saying about Jay as well, because I can see him with that briefcase, and I think he'd be a good laugh with it.
Yeah.
I just think, like, to further this story even more, as if it's not like one of the biggest stories WWE have done in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That moment of, after everything that CM Punk has done to Drew McIntyre, the most justified heel in wrestling history. After everything that Punk has done to him, then costing him the briefcase, costing him that world title is so good.
It goes either way, doesn't it? Because you say, you know, CM Punk has done all that to Drew, but Drew obviously recently really took out CM Punk in Chicago, took his bracelet as well that had his wife and his dog's name on it and everything like that. I think, oh no. Well, I'm not going to change my pick. I'm going to stick with what I've got, but I think you're really onto something there, and I think it just heats everything up more for when we do get that blow off between the two.
We differ on one, yet again. It is a one-match card as far as the Cultaholic predictions go, but it's a 5-match card in reality, and it looks like a great evening of entertainment.
It does.
Andrew, it's been so much fun doing this with you. I've got to get going, but I thought before I go, do you want to get a quick picture together?
Yeah, if that's okay.
So that's it from us. Make sure to check out WTF Moments, what happened at, for Money in the Bank, coming very, very shortly after the pay-per-view. But actually, Andrew, I've got a bit of a surprise for you, pal.
Yeah?
The Make-A-Wish wasn't just getting to do this video with me. You're going to be on the live stream as well.
Oh!
you deserve it.
No way!
You deserve it.
Really?
Looking like that, honestly, mate. Seriously. Well done. Really looking forward to doing this live stream with you. So it's going to be a hoot and a holler, and you can set...
I'm just so emotional. I'm just so emotional right now.
I'm well enough. You can set a reminder for that live stream. There's a link in the pinned comment below, so check that out, and we'll see you. I think it's like 11. Bless him.
I'm just so emotional.
It's going to be a pleasure, mate. Honestly, well done.